What's up, guys? Welcome back. $200 million leads. Mastering Google Ads. We finished reading the text. Yesterday, we began to start to watch the training video, bonus training for paid ads. We started out pretty slow. Today, I'm going to speed it up a little bit, meaning yesterday I was watching for 4 minutes and then recalling. Today we'll watch for 6 minutes and then we'll recall what I watched after 6 minutes. But before I do that, what did we watch yesterday? So he kind of had a quick story. He told a story about the first gym, his mentor, running the first paid ads, Facebook ads. One big takeaway being that copywriting and advertising doesn't have to be complex. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be any of that. It can be really simple as long as you're communicating clearly. It can be simple. Okay, and right, all paid ads work. It's not if they work, the reach is guaranteed. It's how well will they work. Okay, so it's all about efficiency. Reach is guaranteed. You're basically paying for attention. You're paying a platform for eyeballs and attention. Cool. Anything else? Cool. Missed that part. Cool. Okay. I missed two things. The majority of the money Hormozi's made is through paid ads. He's growing the majority of his businesses. Maybe not now that he's got so much organic stuff for acquisition.com, but he originally, a lot of his businesses were grown through paid ads primarily. And there's 4 problems you need to solve in order to run paid ads. You got to choose your platform, what platform to run paid ads on, how to get your target audience, your ICA, people that are interested in your product or offer, to be able to see the ad, how to make a good ad, and then how to get their contact information. And so that brings us up to speed with the video. Today right now I'm going to go continue watching it. So I'll talk to you guys in a second. All right, that was dense. So the 4 problems you need to solve, right? We already listed them. The second one was being able to target the ideal audience. Also, dog's barking. Okay. Targeting getting the right audience to see our advertisements on the platform. That one he said is pretty tricky. In the future, the platforms may even be better. They'll probably be better than they are right now, but currently they're not super amazing at targeting. They're good. They're better than they used to be, and they'll keep getting better most likely. But targeting is still one of the hardest parts. So there'll be tips and tricks on how to actually get the right attention from the right audience, or the attention of the right audience. So then he kind of gets into the first problem, solving the first problem, which is where do I advertise? And he presents 4 criteria to use in order to choose your platform. So first, you use the platform so you know how the ads work, like the kind of the platform works. You gain value from this platform, used and gotten value from it. 2, what was 2? 3 was you know how to format the ads correctly for the platform, which it was kind of vague. You still get into it more. And then 4 is having the minimum amount of money. So you use the platform, you know how to format the structure of the ads, the placements. 4 is you have the minimum amount of money to place an ad, which is a big deal nowadays. It's way cheaper than it used to be 50 years ago. He's talking about only radio, billboard, TV ads, which were newspaper, which were high barrier to entry, where these social media platforms are low barrier to entry. What could the second one be? The second criteria. Your audience, your ideal audience is on the platform, uses the platform. Cool, I think that's everything. Yep. Right, and along the lines of that targeting, if you could just show your ad only to people that are interested in your product and their offer, you're going to do well pretty much no matter what. So that's the targeting thing, the targeting problem. Whew. All right, guys, I will continue and I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, strangely, even with the 6 minutes today versus the 4 minutes yesterday, I actually got through a little less, but about the same amount of video material today. So before I recall, it's like I spent 2 days, 25 minutes getting through 14 minutes of content. So 50 minutes to get through 15 minutes. Now, that's 30% time consuming, 70% time creating, which is a little much. The study that I saw from Make It Stick back in, I think it was 1917, the original testing effect study showed that the optimal for retention was about 60-40, and we're 70-30, so we're close. But I'm also doing a retrieval from yesterday. So anyway, before we run out of time, let's do this. We finished up the first problem. So where was I at last time? The first problem, the last recall. So the 4 criteria, we got through that. Okay. Then he just had 2 tips for choosing platform. The first tip is just to copy what competitors are doing, or not copy completely, but like look at where your competitors are marketing, what vehicles, what platforms, what placements are they using, just copy them. Big statement he uses is replicate and then iterate. So match and then improve, but don't try to improve before you've already equaled to or matched. Replicate, then iterate. So that's an interesting tip. And the other tip for placement or platform is, what would that have been? Right, ads library. So you can use an ads library for your platform, find the ads that have been in your space, have been running the longest, and then that have the most engagement, to find the best ads, and then transcribe that top ad, and actually transcribe 50 ads. He says a lot. He just throws a huge number out there. But if you transcribe 50 of these ads and you kind of dissect what's their offer, what's their lead magnet, what's their call to action, what's their call out, this is a framework I haven't studied from him yet, but I've recognized it's one of his frameworks is hook, retain, reward. So I'd like to learn more about that. Then the who, what, when framework for their ad. And if you dissect and transcribe all these ads, and then you dissect those parts out for 50 ads, you'll be able to create really good ads, like 9 out of 10. You'll be nine paces out of 10, or 90% of the way ahead of everyone else. So I don't know if that's a great way to put it, but that's kind of how I remember what he was saying. But anyway, you'll be ahead of all your competition except for a minority. So you'll be ahead of 90% of your competition. How about that? Okay, and then we get into the second problem to be solved for running paid ads, which is how to target the correct audience And okay, what do we do here for targeting the correct audience? Do we get anything? Right. Okay, yeah. So the more specific, the better. The more specific, essentially, there's a limit though. You can get too specific, but theoretically, the more specific your advertising is and the more target is, the more specific the targeting, the higher the ROI. And he kind of uses a framework of like puddle, pond, lake, ocean. And you want to start with a puddle and get really high ROI there, and then you can afford to get a little less efficient as you get bigger and bigger and bigger, target more broadly, but start as specific as possible. So when we're marketing, we're essentially starting with the whole world every time, and by the platform we choose, we're already narrowing down significantly. Say the platform has 100 million people, that's a huge amount of people. Well, 100 million is still like microscopic to the entire world population. It's like less than 2%. So just by your first round of targeting is already just choosing the platform. And then there's 2 ways within the platform to target more specifically. And I only got through one of them on the video, but I can try to recall what it was. The other one was, and the first one is that I was watching was targeting a lookalike audience, where you feed these platforms a list of clients you've already had, and then the platform takes this list and then matches and finds people that are most similar to the people that have already been customers of yours. That's the lookalike audience. Second way to target within a platform is, I think, targeting based on demographics. So we're talking about interests, age, and location primarily. And then you can actually target through the advertisement itself, not just through the media buying or settings of the campaign. But yeah, so that's about it for today. We got through solving the whole first problem, choosing a platform, and then we started the second problem, which is how to get the right people to see your ad, which is targeting. So that's it for today. I'll talk to you guys later.